Hello, everyone. This is Tom Green, and this is my extended pitch for my company, Trail Wizards. So, what do? So, every year, thousands of people embark on a long distance journey from Georgia to Maine. We seek to offer a subscription service that allows hikers to pay to get a discount on the supplies that they need to purchase throughout the hike. Our support is strategically designed to target the major hardships that often force hikers off trail. Over time, we hope to develop a community on the trail and supplement it with the off-trail tactical supply drops and stock points. These spots will offer hikers much-needed supplies, hot meals, cold drinks, and a relaxing place to rest. Every hiker hikes at their own pace, so rather than trying to keep everyone together, we encourage them to make their adventure their own. Our services are located at specific strategic locations determined by our market research and our first-hand Appalachian Trail hiking experience. So how do hikers meet their needs now? Two of the survey questions from our previous assignment helped us determine whether or not there was a need for our service. We wanted to determine how hikers were resupplying and how often they were satisfied with the selection that they were provided. From our first survey here, we found that most hikers were sometimes satisfied or almost never satisfied, with only 4 being often satisfied and 0 always satisfied. In the next survey, we looked at how they currently resupply along the trail, and we found that local stores and big retail stores were the most popular, with a few very experienced hikers mailing themselves packages. So why do hikers come off trail, and why would they be willing to pay extra for our service? Looking at why they come off trail, resupply was the number one answer. Phone chargers, hot food, and showers were among the other important answers, and injury and rest. And then we wanted to basically out front ask them, would you be willing to pay for a delivery service to avoid the hassle of off-trail miles? And we found that 65% of the people that we asked said they would. So why Trail Wizards? Trail magic can take many forms. Trail magic is defined as acts of generosity in the wild and primitive setting of the Appalachian Trail, where basic amenities of civilization are intentionally absent, and they are often received in a heightened sense of wonder and gratitude by the hikers. These are acts of generosity on the part of individuals that want to help make the hikers feel like they're at home. Hot meals and small supply rations are often given out to hikers. The name Trail Wizards is based on trail magic. We want to use the already positively established premise of trail magic in the hiking community to boost the public perception of our new company. Our story. So in 2019, I was preparing to graduate from the University of Albany. Throughout my undergrad, I had been learning the skills necessary to become a successful entrepreneur, but I needed to prove to myself that I could in fact take risks and face hardship. In the summer following my graduation, my brother and I embarked on our Appalachian Trail journey. Through the first month or so, we began to develop relationships with other people hiking on the trail. In the conversations, we discovered that we all had similar wants and needs that were difficult to meet on the trail. This led us to spend large amounts of money in local towns and gas stations. After our hike was derailed for medical reasons, my brother and I shelved the idea and returned to society. After a few months of studying in this master's program, I decided to rekindle and develop the idea. Through communication with our old contacts, we are attempting to design the best possible system to help others succeed. So how do we decide what we offer? During our time on the trail, we were constantly trying new combinations of food. The longer we hiked, the more we realized that some supplies are more valuable than others. This wasn't because of the retail price of the items, but rather the scarcity. In my question to my hiker friends, I asked which food items they would prefer to eat while on the trail. Mountain House meals clearly were the favorite because of their lightweight and superior quality. These meals are not normally offered at large retailers or local stores. Ramen and tuna were the other major options that I offered in the survey. Both of these items are very plain, but offer the most convenience and are most widely available. Among the other answers given were pepperoni and peanut butter tortillas, which was the most interesting. The limited food options force hikers to get creative with their foods. We believe that our offer of hiker-specific items, where they're needed, will generate a lot of interest. So our value proposition. Our biggest competitive advantage and offering is the time saved by using our service. Other stores and competitors require these hikers to remove themselves from nature and return to towns that are often ill-equipped to properly supply them. We bring the focus of the camping store together with the accessibility of delivery services to offer the best possible service. Our first positioning here is hiker orientation versus price. The hiker orientation chart was focused on the range of products offered by the supplier. In this category, we must be careful of Cabela's because they also offer the same type of products that we offer. Along the trail, there is only one Cabela's that is visited by hikers in Hamburg, Pennsylvania. Other than that, most of the competition has less favorable matchups because they cater to more general markets rather than specifically to hikers. Chart number 2 was convenience versus price. In convenience, gas stations and Walmart become a problem. The structure of our business leads to higher prices, and local stores tend to have lower prices in comparison. Both Walmart and gas stations are usually 24 hours, which give them an edge in these areas. They both suffer inconvenience, however, because they require the hiker to get off trail and travel to reach their location. In customizability versus price, we only face major competition from the post office locations and Cabela's. The post office is the most widespread competitor we have because it allows hikers to mail pre-made packages to themselves. This option is very popular among experienced hikers, but newer hikers usually do not use their service. Potential starting locations. For our starting location, I wanted to find a place that is decently close to the trailhead in Georgia. Every year, when people leave for their hike, they often over or underestimate the physical toll and supply requirements. By the time they hit the halfway point at Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, the overall number of hikers that are still on trail is significantly lower. We want to capture as many of these hikers as possible. Among a smaller group of 15 of my closer friends from hiking, we determined where hikers would most like to see our service offered. The Smoky Mountains stood out as the best among the answers given once we took the poll to the rest of the Facebook group. So what is our marketing strategy? We want to gain as much media exposure as possible before the hikers get on the trail. We want them to be aware of where our services are and have our number on their person. We'll do this by using a flyer with pull tabs that is attached to this assignment. We want to use Facebook to get in touch with their support systems as well. We want to offer the ability for family and friends to deposit money into accounts that they wish to sponsor. This will give them access to more spending money and give the family and friends involved with our brand early on. So how do we reach our goals? We must maximize the convenience of our service with extra focus on the specific locations that we establish ourselves in. This is an industry that has been overlooked by large stores because of the small and moving nature of the hiking community. The number of annual hikers has been steadily increasing for the last 20 years, and the trend should continue. Our goal is going to be to establish and build up our brand in the community So that when the market is large enough for these larger firms to notice, we have created a large barrier of entry that will protect us. This can only be done by building a hiker-centric focus and fostering the relationships with the prominent members of the hiking community. The nature of thru hiking lends itself to repeat trips. This means that the relationships we establish can turn into repeat customers and champions for our brand. Over time, our marketing focus will be on social interactions with hikers rather than on adding new customers. And where do we want to go after that? There are several different paths that we can take with our business model if it is successful. The first option is to simply expand the number of vehicles within our fleet to cover larger areas of the trail. This idea would require massive investment and could cost a lot of money, and wages and insurance would become our major focus in cutting expenses. Alternatively, we want to take advantage of the trail's proximity to towns. If we can design a system that allows drivers to accept deliveries to locations, we would only need to own the storage for the supplies. This could allow us to scale quickly and even open the door for expansion into other trails such as the Pacific Crest Trail. So that was my extended pitch for my company, Trail Wizards. Thank you for listening.